Hey guys, in the ceiling of an ancient temple, you can see these carvings, and there are 5 gods. This is actually located in a dark area, and you're going to be surrounded by magnificent carvings at eye level. So nobody's going to look up and observe these carvings. And even if you did, you will think Hindu temples have thousands of carvings. What is special about yet another 5 deities carved on the ceiling? But there is a surprise, a big surprise, because you can see these words here etched in Tamil language. They've faded quite a bit and all of them are not readable, but I've used technology to enhance these letters and was able to decode them. Surprisingly, these are not names of Hindu gods. Let me read them to you. The first one is Nivrtti Kala. The second one is Pratista Kala. The third one is Vidya Kala. The fourth one says Shanti Kala. And the fifth one says Shantyatheeta Kala. Now, even if you're a Hindu, I bet you have not heard of these terms before. What do they mean? These are concepts of a very advanced philosophy called Pancha or Pancha Kala. Pancha means 5 and Kala means aspect or part. 5 aspects of what? Your mind and soul. Yes, this is what is carved here. What is Pratista Kala? Something that's being installed or established. You have a mind and it is full of thoughts, and new thoughts like what I'm saying right now are getting installed in your mind. If your mind is a computer, I'm installing a new software through this video, and this installation is called Pratista. Thoughts registering on the mind is called Pratista. And you may think that's a natural phenomenon. No, it's not natural at all. Thoughts are made of words, and when you came to this planet naturally, when you were born as a baby, words did not exist in your world. It was just a material world, not a world of thoughts, and words were meaningless sounds to you initially. So you looked at the table as it is, in its material form, without using thoughts, without calling it a table. Or the thought must have existed in pre-verbal form, without words, very similar to an instinct. But as you started growing older, it became nearly impossible to think without words, and it became impossible to free your mind from thoughts. Thoughts are always running wild in your mind. Now, words are dominating your world, but to overcome this pattern, you can focus on the pauses between my words. That's where the real juice is. So, thoughts registering on your mind is called Pratista Kala, but what is Nivrtti Kala? Nivrtti is the opposite of Pratista. If Pratista is installation, Nivrtti is uninstalling. If Pratista is the food you're intaking, Nivrtti is excreta or poop leaving your body. But how does it apply to your mind, right? Nivrtti is forgetting. Nivrtti is the process of the removal of thoughts from your mind. This may not be a conscious process. You may not be able to remove thoughts using your willpower. If you had a breakup and are consciously trying every day to forget someone, it will not work. This is how anxiety and trauma get amplified and can create bigger problems on your mind. And Nivrtti is a very important aspect of your mind. If you remember every piece of information that ever registered on your mind, you will completely go crazy. So your mind has to forget. It's not an option. You should forget thoughts that are unimportant, irrelevant, negative, etc. You cannot hold on to a grudge about something small that happened many years ago. If you compare this with the body, this is similar to old poop stuck in your gut. there is a corollary to this. You cannot forget everything. This is like having a constant diarrhea. When you're having a diarrhea, your body is not able to hold any food at all, and it releases everything out. Now, what does it mean to the mind? It will be similar to stage 7 dementia. You forget everything completely, so you cannot speak or eat or do anything. So Nivrtti is a very important aspect of the mind, and it must remain in balance. Now, the third carving is Vidya Kala. Now, what does it mean? You have registered a thought on the mind, and you've forgotten that thought from your mind. What else can be there? No, some essence of it is being absorbed in the mind. Your mind has understood some new concept because of the thoughts, even though you've forgotten the original thought. So, if I say, what is 365 plus 5, you will immediately say it's 370, even though you have never memorized this. You may have memorized 5 tables and even forgotten it long back, but you've understood the essence of it. Now, this is called Vidya Kala. The word Vidya means science, learning, or knowledge. It's different from memory. We have all seen that one guy or girl who could just memorize everything and just write it on paper. But being a memory machine doesn't bring you wisdom, right? The real essence is extracted by thought, registering on the mind, and then removing it, but you've extracted the juice, the meaning of it. The easiest way to understand Vidya Kala is to compare it with the human body. Yes, the baby eats the food, and the baby then excretes the food later, but how is the baby growing so fast? Because the nutrients in the food are being absorbed by the body. This also happens to your mind. This is why you tend to become wiser as you grow older, because you start to make mental models with all the information you receive. This is an example of Vidya Kala. The fourth one, can you see what's written here? It says Shanti Kala. Shanti usually means peace of mind, your state of mind, and is closely related to your subconscious mind and subconscious memories. This is different from the previous Kala, Vidya. You never thought about or studied what was 365 plus 5 before, but you could still come up with the answer. That is Vidya Kala. But Shanti Kala is something that was registered before, but has gone into the depths of your subconscious mind. Ever thought of someone's face, but you could not remember his name? You try to remember his name, but it does not work. So you forget about this, and after a few hours, that name magically pops into your head. And you're like, aha, that was his name. How did it work? Even though you thought you forgot his name, it is stored subconsciously. And if you consciously try to retrieve it, it will not work. If you undergo deep hypnosis, you will realize that a vast amount of Shanti Kala or subconscious memory and beliefs exist in your mind. You may even remember the color of your shirt you wore when you first went to school as a child many years ago. And this information only comes out rarely, but this subconscious aspect is called Shanti Kala. Shanti Kala is much bigger and more important than the other three here. Because remember, the conscious mind is like the visible part of the iceberg. It's only 10%. And the remaining 90% is your subconscious mind that you cannot see. So Shanti Kala is an important aspect of your mind. The last one is called Shantyatheeta Kala. This is a combination of the words Shanti and Atita. Shanti refers to your vast subconscious mind and its pacific state. And Atita means transcending, going beyond it. Now, what can go beyond all these four aspects of mind? We talked about 1, registering of thoughts on your mind. 2, removal of thoughts. 3, extracting the essence of thoughts. And 4, subconscious memories. So what could be the 5th one? The super consciousness. Yes, that is what is meant by Shantyatheeta Kala, that which transcends your mind. So a person is born as a baby without any thoughts. He becomes full of thoughts. He forgets many things. He extrapolates and makes mental models. And he also has subconscious, submerged information. But what happens when he dies? According to modern materialistic views, nothing is beyond these 4 aspects of your mind. If your body dies, your mind also dies with it. But according to Hinduism, only your mind dies, not your soul. Now we're moving from psychology to parapsychology and advanced philosophy. According to Pancha philosophy, your soul acts as a black box. This is the super consciousness, and the black box carries the karma, all the good and bad you've done, and goes into a new body with that karma. This is called Shantyatheeta Kala. This is not subconscious, and this is rarely observed when people have past life memories, past life regressions, etc. So the previous 4 kala depend on the physical body. So when the body stops breathing, the previous 4 will be destroyed. But the 5th kala, the Shantyatheeta Kala, is active and it carries the karma and it moves to the next body. Now, if you understand and observe the Shantyatheeta Kala while you're alive, then you can actually transcend your mind in this life itself. Thus, you can destroy your karma and achieve enlightenment. Notice that I've not mentioned the name of any god or any Hindu deity throughout this video. This is not related to religion. This is related to philosophy. And this information is found hidden in the ceiling of an ancient temple. This temple is called Tirupperundurai, which is more than 1,000 years old. So, ancient Indian temples are not only about religion. I've shown you many instances of science, like sundials, many art forms like rhythm chakra, and even psychology, where they symbolize id, ego, and superego. But here, I have demonstrated philosophy. So, even advanced abstract concepts are embedded in our ancient temples. I hope you like this video. I am PraveenMohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.